Ever get that like rumbling tummy feeling?
Mm.
But you're like, wait a sec, maybe I'm just thirsty.
Hmm.
That's what we're looking at today. The connection between hydration and weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
It's more important than a lot of people think.
Absolutely.
And to help us break it all down, we've got insights from a weight loss pro-dress with like over 50 years of experience.
Yeah, they've pretty much seen it all, so we're in good hands.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Yeah.
How does water actually help us, lose weight?
Well, it's interesting because I think we often overlook simple things. We get caught up in these fancy diets or crazy workouts.
Yeah.
But honestly, some of the best tools are things we already have, like water.
It's true. It's like a secret weapon just sitting there.
Right.
So, okay, how does water actually help us shed those extra pounds?
Well, first, think about your metabolism as like a car engine.
Okay.
To run smoothly, an engine needs fuel, right?
Right.
And for our metabolism, that fuel is water.
Interesting.
If you're dehydrated, your metabolism slows down. It's like a car sputtering on fumes. Oh.
And then it just makes it harder to burn those calories efficiently.
So we got to keep the engine running.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've got to keep the metabolism going strong.
Yeah.
What else does water do?
Well, you've probably experienced this. You feel hungry, you drink a glass of water,
Yeah.
and suddenly the hunger goes away. Dehydration can actually mask itself as hunger.
Whoa. That has totally happened to me before. Like,
Yeah.
I'm rummaging in the pantry, and I'm like, oh, wait, I just needed some water.
It happens to all of us.
Yeah.
By staying hydrated, we can really tell the difference between actual hunger and just being thirsty.
Yeah.
And that helps prevent all those, extra snacks.
Interesting. So it helps us make smarter choices
Yeah.
about what we're eating and when. Okay, what about all those claims that, like, drinking water burns calories? Is there any truth to that?
There's a little bit of research suggesting water might temporarily increase your metabolic rate and fat burning, but it's important not to overhype it.
It's more like a little nudge than a fat-melting miracle.
Okay, so it's not like a magic bullet, but it's something.
Exactly.
So it sounds like staying hydrated is really setting the stage for weight loss.
Right.
It's like it supports our metabolism, it helps us manage our appetite, and then maybe gives that fat burning a little boost.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to think about it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And, there's another area where water plays a really crucial role.
What's that?
Exercise performance.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We sweat when we work out, so we've got to replenish those fluids. But how much of a difference does it actually make?
Well, when you're hydrated, your body can control its temperature better. You have more energy. Your muscles don't get tired as quickly.
Okay.
And that all leads to, better, longer workouts.
Makes sense.
And that burns more calories.
So it's not just chugging water during a workout.
No.
It's about making sure we're hydrated all day long.
Exactly.
Which actually reminds me of something that our weight loss expert mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we feel sluggish or tired when we're exercising.
Right.
And we think we need more energy.
Yeah, like we need to eat something.
Yeah, but maybe we're just dehydrated.
Exactly. It's easy to mistake the two.
It's about recognizing those signs
Absolutely.
that our body is sending us.
Yeah.
While we're on this topic of hydration and exercise, I've got to ask, what about sports drinks? Are those necessary?
It depends.
Okay.
It really depends on how intense your workout is and how long it is. For most workouts, just regular water is totally fine.
Right.
But if you're sweating a lot
Yeah.
and you're losing electrolytes,
Right.
then a sports drink can help bring those back.
So it's about matching our hydration to what we're doing.
Yeah, basically. And speaking of matching, let's talk about how we can match our water intake to our individual needs.
Okay, that makes sense. Everyone's different.
Exactly.
So how do we figure out how much water we should be drinking each day?
Right.
Is it that like 8 glasses a day thing?
It's a decent place to start, but it's not perfect for everyone.
Okay.
Our expert points out that things like your activity level, the climate you live in, and your overall health, they can all change how much water you need.
So like someone training for a marathon in Arizona.
Exactly.
They're going to need to drink a lot more than someone who's just, hanging out at home in Alaska.
Right. It's about listening to your body and adjusting to your situation. But, before we dive deeper into that, let's take a moment to address something important. Imagine if you could get rid of stubborn fat and support weight loss in a simple and healthy way while you are at home. You can find out by visiting https://m.lsalutweightloss or by clicking on the link in the description of this deep dive.
That's awesome. So back to how much water to drink.
Right.
What are some signs that we might need to up our intake?
Well, obviously thirst is the big one,
Yeah.
but sometimes the signs are a little more subtle.
Okay.
Like you might feel tired or get headaches or even have dry skin.
Those are good to know. It's like our bodies are sending us little notes
Exactly.
to remind us to drink up.
And the more we pay attention to those signs, the better we can take care of ourselves.
Very true.
Yeah, it's like anything else. The more we practice listening to our bodies, the better we get at understanding them.
That's true. But, even when we know we need to drink more water, it's not always easy.
Right.
Like plain water can be kind of boring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to forget about it when we're, busy.
I totally get that. That's where some of these hydration hacks can help.
Hmm.
Our expert had some great tips to make staying hydrated more appealing and easier to do.
Oh, cool. I'm all for that.
One of their favorites is starting your day with a glass of water right when you wake up.
So it's like rehydrating after sleeping.
Exactly. It kickstarts your metabolism.
Yeah.
And sets you up for a good day.
I like that. A little morning ritual.
Yeah, exactly.
Before the craziness starts.
And you can even take it up a notch.
Oh.
Add a slice of lemon or lime.
Yeah, lemon water. I've heard good things about that.
Some of it's just, people talking.
Yeah.
But it's definitely refreshing.
It's true.
And it makes your water more enjoyable.
Okay, so that's for the morning. What about the rest of the day?
Yeah. How do we keep things interesting so we don't get tired of water?
Right.
Our expert suggests trying infused water.
What's that?
You just add fruits or veggies or herbs to your water and let it sit for a while.
Oh, okay. I've seen those. Like spa water?
Exactly.
What are some good combos?
Well, citrus fruits are always good, like lemon, lime, orange.
Yeah.
They add some drogerizing and vitamin C. Berries are great, too. Strawberries, raspberries, blueberries.
Ooh.
Sweet and colorful. And if you're feeling adventurous, you can try cucumber mint or even rosemary.
Like create your own little concoction.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm already getting ideas. But even with all these fancy waters, sometimes I just forget to drink.
I hear you. You get busy and then it's like, oh, shoot, I haven't had any water all day.
Exactly. That's why our expert says tracking your intake is so important.
Yeah, it might sound boring, but it can really change things.
So do I have to carry a notebook and write down every sip?
No. There are apps that make it super easy to track how much you're drinking.
Oh, that makes sense.
You can even get water bottles that have time markers on them.
Right. I've seen those.
They kind of visually remind you to keep drinking.
Like a little cheerleader on your water bottle.
Exactly. And if you don't want to use an app or anything, you can just set reminders on your phone.
That's a good idea. Like a little hydration coach?
Exactly.
Okay. But even with all the best intentions and reminders, sometimes life gets in the way, and I just don't reach for my water bottle as often as I should.
I get it. That's where being strategic comes in.
Okay.
Our expert recommends thinking about your environment and creating little reminders to drink. Like, put water bottles everywhere, on your desk, by the couch in your car.
Oh.
That way you're always reminded to take a sip.
Okay. I like that. It's like setting up a hydration obstacle course.
Exactly.
Okay, speaking of obstacles, let's talk about some of the myths about hydration.
Oh, yeah. There are always those rumors floating around.
Right. Like, what's the truth?
Okay, so one that comes up a lot is about coffee and tea.
Yeah.
Some people think they don't count toward your daily fluids because they make you pee more.
Right. Because of the caffeine?
Exactly. But it's not that simple.
Okay.
While it's true that coffee and tea can increase your urine output, they still hydrate you.
So they do count.
Yeah, the key is balance. As long as you're not only drinking coffee and tea,
right,
and you're also drinking plenty of water, you're good.
Okay, so we can still enjoy our morning coffee.
Definitely.
Okay, good to know. Here's another one I've heard, that drinking too much water is bad for you.
Oh, yeah, overhydration.
Okay.
But honestly, for most people, it's pretty hard to drink too much water. Our bodies are good at balancing things out.
Okay, but I guess it is possible.
It is possible.
Possible.
Yeah. In extreme cases, overhydration can lead to something called hyponatremia.
What's that?
It's when you have dangerously low levels of sodium in your blood.
Oh, wow.
This can happen if someone drinks a ton of water really quickly.
Okay.
It overwhelms their kidneys. So yeah, it's about finding that balance.
Right. Not too much, not too little.
Exactly. Okay, last myth for today. The idea that drinking cold water burns more calories.
Oh, I've totally fallen for that one.
Yeah.
Like your body has to work harder to warm up the water.
Right.
But it always seemed too good to be true.
You're right to be skeptical.
Okay.
While there might be a tiny increase in calories burned,
yeah,
It's so small it doesn't really matter.
So cold water is refreshing.
Yes.
But we shouldn't expect it to, like, melt away fat.
Exactly. It's all about managing those expectations. But, speaking of managing things,
Yeah.
before we move on, I want to remind our listeners about something that could really help them on their weight loss journey. Imagine if you could get rid of stubborn fat and support weight loss in a simple and healthy way while you are at home. You can find out by visiting https://m.l/weightloss or by clicking on the link in the description of this deep dive.
Awesome. So we've busted some myths, we've got all these hydration hacks,
Right.
but we still haven't answered the big question. How much water should we actually be drinking every day?
That's where things get personal.
Okay.
There are general guidelines,
Uh-huh.
but the perfect amount is different for everyone.
So how do we figure out what's right for us?
Our expert suggests a few things.
Okay.
First, think about those factors we talked about before.
Right.
Activity level, climate, overall health.
Yeah.
If you're hitting the gym a lot or you live in a hot, humid place, you'll need more water than someone who's mostly sitting around in a cooler place.
Makes sense. But what about people who are somewhere in between?
Well, our expert says the best guide is your own body.
Okay.
Pay attention to your thirst. Are you feeling parched? Is your urine dark yellow?
Right.
Those are signs you need to drink up.
So tune into those signals.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment.
Oh.
Try increasing your water intake for a week and see how you feel. Do you have more energy? Is your skin clearer? Are you less hungry?
Like a personal hydration experiment?
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
And remember, consistency is key.
Okay.
It's better to sip water throughout the day
Right.
than to chug a huge amount all at once.
So no guzzling a gallon before bed.
Right. It's about making hydration a habit, a natural part of your routine.
It's like finding that balance, right?
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
a journey, not a destination.
Yeah, and even if we don't get it perfect every day, at least we're thinking about it.
Absolutely. Awareness is key. And, when it comes to weight loss, sometimes the smallest changes can make a big difference. Like just swapping out sugary drinks for water.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy how many calories are in those drinks.
Right. And they can actually dehydrate you,
Really?
which we know can lead to overeating
Oh, right.
and mess with your metabolism. It's a vicious cycle.
So by choosing water, we're not just cutting calories.
Right.
We're actually helping our bodies in multiple ways.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
What about people who say they just don't like water? Any tips for making it more appealing?
Well, our expert had a few ideas.
Okay, let's hear them.
First, try playing around with the temperature.
Okay.
Some people like it ice cold, some prefer it room temperature or even a little warm.
That's true. I like mine with ice, but I know people who think that's too much.
It's all about what you like. Another tip is to add a little flavor. We talked about infused water,
Yeah.
but you can also try those unsweetened flavored waters. Or just squeeze some lemon or lime into plain water.
Those are all good ideas. It's about making it enjoyable.
Exactly, not a chore. Sometimes even just using a straw can make a difference.
Really?
It can make you sip more often without even realizing it.
Interesting. It's like tricking your brain into staying hydrated.
Exactly.
Oh, you're
Our
so
brains
smart.
like a little change. But, beyond all these tips, our expert really emphasized the importance of mindset.
Okay.
If we think of hydration as a punishment
Yeah.
or something we have to do, we're less likely to actually do it.
So how do we change that?
It's about changing your perspective. Instead of seeing it as a chore, think of it as self-care.
Right. Like a gift to our bodies.
Exactly. And when we approach it from that place of self-love,
Yeah.
it becomes much easier to make it a priority.
It's like anything else.
Yeah.
When we connect to the WHY,
Absolutely.
we're more motivated to do it.
Yeah.
Speaking of motivation,
Yeah.
I want to remind our listeners about something that could really help them on their weight loss journey. Imagine if you could get rid of stubborn fat and support weight loss in a simple and healthy way while you are at home. You can find out by visiting https://m.l/weightloss or by clicking on the link in the description of this deep dive.
Awesome.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into hydration and weight loss, what's the key takeaway you hope our listeners remember from this conversation?
I think the most important thing is that hydration isn't just about drinking enough water.
Right.
It's about understanding how much it impacts our bodies and our overall well-being. It's about connecting to the WHY of hydration and finding ways to make it a joyful and sustainable part of our lives.
I love that. So here's a little challenge for our listeners. Over the next week, Try incorporating just one of the hydration hacks we've talked about.
Yeah.
Maybe it's starting your day with lemon water, setting reminders on your phone, trying infused water. See how it makes you feel. You might be surprised by the positive changes.
Every sip counts.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of hydration.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Until next time, stay curious, stay hydrated,
Yes.
and keep exploring those simple yet powerful ways to improve your health and well-being.